All right, so real quick, I just wanted to introduce myself for those who don't know me. My name is Ron Begley. I am the territory manager for New England. It means I cover all 6 states. For those of you that do not know, Scott Mulvaney is also on here with us. He is our representation in Pennsylvania, upstate New York, New Jersey. He is hosting the meeting today and recording it. As far as experience goes, I have 3+ years in the HVAC industry. Prior background includes sales, marketing, and also working as a chimney tech. We did previously discuss holding questions until the end, so please do that. As far as Facebook goes and YouTube, I will send you guys links to that after the training today. We do put a lot of content up on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. It's a great way to get introduced to new product and also to learn a little bit about existing products as well. Go ahead and jump to the next slide. So on the agenda today, some of the things that we are going to tackle, we are going to define IAQ technology. We are going to understand the difference between UVGI and UVC. We are going to look at ASHRAE's recommendations. That's going to be our heavy focus today, is looking at ASHRAE's recommendation and also looking at the products they recommend as well. And we also are going to look at our products and differentiating our products from our competition as well. Let me go ahead and jump to the next. So the first thing we always want to look at, and this will be a common theme through the entire presentation, is when, where, and why for IAQ. So the first thing we want to look at is filtration, UV disinfection, and UV air purification. So we'll get started first with the upper right picture there. You'll see a little product right before the air filter. So this is a residential picture of what your air handler will look like. And this is our product called the Orion. The Orion mounts right before your air filter. And basically what that is going to do, it's going to electrically charge the particles, allowing them to clump up and be caught by the air filter. So next we are going to look at the UV lights over the coils there. So there's 2 different ways you can treat. You can treat for in-air disinfection and surface level disinfection. So you do want to treat for surface level disinfection by putting UVC lamps over the coils. And then if you look at in the airstream, after the blower wheel there, we also are treating for in the airstream as well. And we're going to get into each of these products individually as well to go a little bit more in depth with those. We'll go ahead and jump to the next slide. So first we want to define the common IAQ technologies. First is UVGI. UVGI is ultraviolet germicidal irradiation. It is the disinfection method that uses short wavelength light, UVC, to kill or inactivate microorganisms. This occurs by destroying nucleic acids and disrupting their DNA, leaving them unable to perform vital cellular functions. So we'll get into this a little bit further on in the presentations, but keep in mind UVGI is a technology that takes place through UVC lamps. PCO is the other common IAQ technology, and PCO is defined as a photocatalytic oxidation. It's a very powerful process that combines UVC irradiation with a substance, catalyst, titanium dioxide. This catalyst effect results in a reaction that breaks apart the cellular structure of pollutants. So Scott's going to bring up a video real quick, and it's going to kind of give us a visual representation on what happens when the UV reacts with titanium dioxide.
Here's how it works. The UV Photomex Advanced Oxidation Module is coated with an exclusive titanium dioxide formulation. When UV light is applied to the surface, the titanium dioxide coating becomes energized, causing it to release electrons. The electrons then combine with oxygen to create what are known as superoxides. The titanium dioxide then collects replacement electrons from moisture in the air to become charged particles known as hydroxyl radicals. Together with the superoxides, a powerful photocatalytic oxidation, or PCO field, is created. As odors, germs, mold, and other VOC organic molecules approach the PCO field, they are disassembled as the oxidizers pull electrons from them. The purification process is completed, with the remaining molecules recombining to form simple water vapor and trace amounts of carbon dioxide. Ultravation's advanced oxidation.
So PCO is very important, especially to eliminate smells and odors. So a lot of people do go with UV lights to kill viruses and bacteria, but PCO is very good, especially if you want to eliminate a lot of smells that are coming from household odors and things like that. Ionization is another great product as well. We did speak about the Orion a little bit in the previous slide, and basically the Orion is ionization. And ionization, what that does is it electrically charges air molecules by generating negative ions using electricity and discharging them. These negative ions attach to positively charged particles and triggers a bond to create denser particles. So basically, your air filter does a great job, especially if you're using a MERV 11, MERV 13 filter, of catching a lot of that stuff that's going through those. But unless you inhibiting all air coming through there, I mean, some stuff is going to pass through there. So what this does, it does clump up a lot of these bacteria, viruses, allergens, mold, things like that, and it does allow those to make your air filter even more effective. And it also gives you that fresh air feeling as well. If you've ever heard of or smelled that thunderstorm fresh air feeling, you get that a lot from ionization. And it's kind of gives you a little bit of a visual representation on what's going on here. But this is definitely a good first step into getting into IAQ, and a full house system of IAQ is to do the ionization. We'll go ahead and jump to the next slide. So I did mention ASHRAE's position and their recommendations. So I won't get into each individual article. I will send you guys this to read after the presentation. But basically what they are saying is to treat the airstream, treat the surface, which means treat the coils, treat in the induct airstream, and treat this with UVGI technology. As we mentioned before, UVGI technology is only found in UVC lamps. UVC lamps is what Ultravation is using in their products. So keep that in mind. So we'll go ahead and jump to the next. So understanding UVC energy. So we're looking at the little picture up here on the top left, and we're looking at the ultraviolet light spectrum here, and we're looking at UVC on the UV spectrum. As you'll see, the UVC in conjunction with UVB and UVA, that is the most concentrated energy packet that is found on the UV spectrum there. That is the most destructive packet of energy, and it does not reflect or refract nearly at all. That is the most dangerous form of ultraviolet light as well, and UVC energy renders microorganisms lifeless in a fraction of a second. So it is extremely potent, extremely dangerous. That's what makes it extremely effective. So if you look at the little purple circle underneath that, and it shows the lamp surface and how effective that is. So if you look at the very inner part of that circle, it shows the effectiveness. And basically what that's saying is the closer the UV lamp is to something, the more efficient it is. So the closer it is to a coil, the more efficient it's going to be. It'll still work the further away it is, but not as well. So you see 12 inches from the lamp, it gets a little bit less efficient. We'll go ahead and jump to the next slide. Now we spoke about UVC and UVGI technology, and this is just putting it in simplistic terms. So we really hammer home the UVC versus UVGI and how they work together. So UVC is the lamp type and is also part of the electromagnetic UV spectrum. UVGI is the technology / the tool that is generated by using a UVC lamp to sterilize / neutralize pollutants. UVC lamps used directly on the coils performs UVGI on the coil. UVC lamps installed in the airstream by themselves do UVGI in the airstream. UVC lamps in an upper room unit do UVGI in an upper room application. For example, the UV Matrix FS series is what is considered an upper room application. UVC lamps used in combination with titanium dioxide coated products for PCO do UVGI in the airstream plus PCO. So it's fair to say any of the products with UVC lamps do UVGI in addition to other technologies that UVGI may be combined with. So as ASHRAE recommends, UVGI is a technology that they recommend to kill bacteria and viruses that can only be found in UVC lamps. We'll go ahead and jump to the next slide. So understanding our T3 class UVC lamp, we do have a UVC lamp that is a normal UVC lamp, but we also have a UVC lamp that is our T3 class UVC lamp that is 40% more efficient. So a normal UVC lamp works at about 60% efficiency, as you see on the bottom right chart there. Our T3 lamp works at 40% more efficiency. So you see there, a typical UV lamp at that red dot is right around 60. Ours goes up 40%, all the way up to 100 on that green dot. The reason being that our T3 lamp is insulated and with a gas that protects a UV lamp from cold air, and it is also encased in a quartz sleeve as well. So all of our T3 class UVC lamps also last for 2 years. And it does allow for a higher level of UV disinfection, and it does give a lower overall electrical costs thanks to the insulation process, and lamps are protected from moisture and debris, allowing for a longer service life of the bulb. A lot of our products, you can go with the normal UV lamp. We usually encourage people to go with the T3 just because the technology is better. It does give you more efficiency. You do get a better disinfection rate. The lamp life is better as well. But you do have that option if you wanted to go that route to go with a typical UV lamp as well. We'll go ahead and go to the next slide.
And just a quick add, T3 is the only option on commercial. We don't mess around there. So all matrix options are all T3 standard.
Correct. And you'll see that with a lot of our higher end products that they're typically only offered with the T3. So coil and airstream UVGI efficiency. So some of the questions we asked were why, when, as far as UVGI and UVC goes, and when to install indoor air quality products, why to install them, what are people trying to solve for. So as a contractor, when you're going into a residence or a commercial building, one of the questions you need to ask is, what are you guys trying to solve for? Are you trying to solve for a specific type of virus? Are you trying to solve for a specific type of bacteria? Are you trying to solve for a combination of both? If you look at towards the bottom there, if you look at the bottom one there, that is a bacteria. And basically what that means in blue there is 99.96% of that can be solved by just a surface treatment. So just on the coils, you can treat most of that and almost get 100% efficiency from that. Now, if you look at all the way at the top of the ecovirus, if you just treat the coils, you only get 23.92% efficiency. So the green signifies airstream disinfection. So you need to treat both the coil and the airstream to get 99% plus disinfection to treat that ecovirus there. So we typically push people to treat both the airstream and the coils on these. So if you look at it, most of them do require a combination of both, but that's why it's extremely important to ask people what they're trying to solve for as well. We'll go ahead and jump to the next. So we're going to get into some of our residential solutions. I might skip over a couple of these, but I am going to get into our most popular ones that I think that will be the most beneficial to you guys. These are a group of some of our most popular ones here. I think I'll probably skip over probably one of these, but go ahead and jump to the next one. So this is going to be a very entry-level product here. This is going to be to mount right over the coils. This is for coil treatment. This can be bought in two ways, or a combination of two ways. It's going to be bought just as a UVC lamp to go right over your coils, or you do have the option to add PCO over it as well. So as we spoke about before, it does have a UVGI technology coming out of the UVC lamp. And then it also does have the option to add the PCO on it to eliminate some of the VOCs and the odors and things that are passing through there as well. So it's going to be a very entry-level model. It's going to be very price effective as well. It is a kind of throwaway unit. So instead of replacing the bulb every year, you're going to replace the entire unit. It does have a 1 or 2 year lamp life, depending if you get a normal UVC lamp or if you go with our T3 option. It does have a standard and a magnetic mount to it. It does say it's always in warranty because it either has a 1 year warranty or a 2 year warranty, depending on the bulb you go with. And some of the things that it does is it does germicidal UV to disinfect wet coils, and it does inhibit allergens and increases the HVAC efficiency. But great entry-level product. Homeowners cannot order replacements. We only sell through through wholesale distribution on these. Go ahead and jump to the next. So this is kind of our top of the line residential product here. This is going to be our direct competitor with the Remy Halo. This is our product for residential solutions with the most technology in it. Some of the hot points that we want to go over on this is that it does have active photocatalytic plus silver ion oxidation, 4 times plasma generation, household odors. It kills bacteria and viruses. It gives you that thunderstorm fresh air from the ionization process. It does have a lifetime warranty. So in simplistic terms, it does all 3 of the IAQ technologies that we spoke about. It does PCO, it does UV, and it does ionization all in one product. And one of the cool things about this is that it does have the option to plug in an additional UVC lamp into this product, so you can mount that over the coils. So this is designed to go in the Airstream. So you would put this in the Airstream, and then you have the option to plug a 12 or 17-inch light into this, and then you would run this over the coil. So you can get in the Airstream disinfection and surface level disinfection from this one product. And it does have a lifetime warranty on it, which is a great benefit as well. And this does have that 2-year lamp life on this as well. And we'll dive a little bit deeper into that product as well and how that stacks up against the Remy Halo. So this is the catalyst. This is another great option for residential purposes. So one thing you'll notice with this compared to the Solaris is this does not have ionization on it. This has just UVC lamps, and this does have PCO with carbon modules on there. So the carbon module basically absorbs any type of ozone that is taking place, so it does not emit any type of ozone. The Solaris, as well as say like a Remy Halo, does emit a little bit of ozone, which some people may not like, so they may want to go with something like a UV catalyst. Now, the downside of going with a UV catalyst, it doesn't do ionization. But if you go back to the Orion, you could always add the Orion to your system. So you could do the UV catalyst, then you could add the Orion as well. And with this, you do have the ability to add a 12 or a 17-inch light to treat the coils as well. Go ahead and jump to the next. So now we're going to look at a competitive analysis between the Solaris and the Remy Halo. So Scott is going to bring up a bigger page there so we can see the differences between the two. So you also see the APCO on here as well. I'll send you guys this comparison sheet so you can read over it, but we're really going to focus on the Remy Halo. That's more of a direct competitor than the APCO is. So the base operation, ours is on the left, theirs is all the way on the right. Base operation, we both have active PCO, which means they both do emit a little bit of ozone. Some people really like the smell of ozone. Some people maybe not so much. It's really a preference. Additional technologies, ours has a dual band UV bipolar ionization, UV surface, and air disinfection. So that means ours does the surface and air disinfection. We can do the coil treatment and airstream disinfection with one product. Theirs does bipolar ionization. As far as the UV lamp goes that's inside it, we have a dual band 10-inch lamp. They have a single band 6-inch lamp. Catalyst surface area and reactor dimension, that is basically referring to the area that has an active PCO. So basically the titanium dioxide that's reacting with the UV, we have a greater surface area that can take place. Now the construction of it, we have stainless steel and aluminum. They have plastic and aluminum. PCO coating for odor reduction and airstream disinfection. We have an exclusive patented titanium dioxide silver AG blend, PCO coating, silver ions, reduce pathogens in the air and on surfaces. They have a titanium dioxide blend with zinc ion disinfection emissions. PCO adjustability, this is another really big one. So as far as the ozone that's being emitted, some people are sensitive to the smell, and you can adjust that on both of our products. So PCO adjustability, we do have a 4-inch adjustment range. They have a 2-inch adjustment range. Now, that means ours can be adjusted further, and that also means ours never blocks or limits our UV disinfection when you do use the adjustment. Theirs does restrict their UV disinfection when you use the adjustment. So as you can see from their design, that when you start to pull back on that it does start to limit that a little bit. So that is something to keep in mind when you're looking at that. If you don't like the smell, you can adjust it down, but you don't want to lose that other disinfection you would get from your UV. So it is another advantage not to lose that disinfection with ours. As far as the electronics on it, we do have the lamp operation that will let you know when the lamp life is no longer efficient. As far as we understand it, they do not have an end of lamp life notification on theirs. Their ionization has a 2 electrode negative and positive ion generator. We have a 4 needle point electrode negative and positive ion generator. Expandability is another great selling point of ours. Our unit does power an additional or an optional remote UV lamp or additional PCO module that can be mounted over the coils. Theirs does not have that option, which basically means, as far as installation purposes, you don't have to wire another unit into the system. It can just plug right into the Solaris, and then you just mount that right over the coils instead of having to buy another unit and wire it into the system. Warranty is another huge one here. We do have a lifetime warranty with a 2-year warranty for the UV lamp. If you're replacing the UV lamp every 2 years, like you should anyway, then that's always in warranty. They have a 2-year PCO, 5-year ballast, no warranty on parts that are outsourced. Jump back to the presentation there. So this is a portable air purifier that we've been selling a little bit of lately. This is just a cool little product that does have a little bit of PCO and UV technology into it that you can put in a small room, such as like an office or a laundry room or some sort of gym or dorm room or something like that, that you want to get some sort of indoor air quality. And it's good for up to 500 square feet. So if you have some sort of application like that, that you don't have any other form of indoor air quality product that you can put in there, I would definitely recommend that you put something like this in there. It's an easy plug and play option, and it is very small too. If you look at the little picture there compared to a set of keys, it's a very small little product.
Yeah, it's 9 inches by 9 inches by 3 inches high. So
yeah, so it's not going to take up a lot of space, but I mean, 500 square feet. I mean, that's a small bedroom, so it does do a decent amount.
it's a bigger bedroom than I got. I have an old house.
Yeah, we did, before the presentation started, we did talk a little bit about the M series for UV ductless. This is a really neat product that you can mount over the coils, or you can also mount this over the blower wheel, depending on your preference. People do it either way. This comes with two 7-inch bulbs. You can use 1 or 2 bulbs, depending on your application process. You see in the picture on the right there, that's the little power pack. You can mount that inside the casing of the mini split if you have room. If not, a lot of people just mount it on the top out of sight, which you can't see. If you see in the picture that the cursor's over, you do see how it does fit in the casing of the mini split. I know from taking apart a lot of mini splits that there's not always a ton of room on the inside of the casing on these. So that even though the power pack's not very big, sometimes there's not room for it. But I also do know a lot of mini splits are mounted towards the top of the ceiling or up against the wall. So if you mount the power pack on top of them, you're never going to see it anyway.
I could say this is actually my photograph, and we ended up sliding this power module in the back right corner. There's an access slot at the back of the unit against the wall, and that's where we slid it in at. So that was actually the contractor's choice. This was actually photographed inside of a contractor's office manager's office. So
yeah, perfect. So there are ways to do it, and like I said, it's not a very big power pack. So I mean, you can find ways to get creative with that. But again, I know there are other products out there on the market that are designed for mini splits to help keep them clean or offer some sort of IAQ product for them. But if we're adhering to what ASHRAE is recommending, they are recommending that you use UVGI technology to kill bacteria and viruses. That's only found through UVC lamps, which is what the M series is. Ultravation does have other products that aren't UVC technology, but we're not talking about those because that's not what ASHRAE is recommending. So with this, it's super compact. It does stop bad odors. It does have a visual / audible lamp out alarm. It does have a 3-year system warranty and 1-year lamp warranty. With mini splits, people should be in there every year doing their maintenance on these, hitting the blower wheel, cleaning these things every year anyway. And with your annual maintenance, swap out the 2 7-inch bulbs. It should be a super easy switch out with the bulbs each year. But yeah, it's a great product. It's very price competitive as well, but it is a great product for mini splits. Next is ion generator. We've kind of touched on this a couple times already, so I won't spend too much time on this, but this does mount right before your air filter and electrically charges the particles, allowing those to clump up and get caught by your air filter. Even if you have a very not so good air filter, this will even make that more efficient. And this is great for ice machines and PTAC units as well. I'll go ahead and move to the next. We did want to kind of go over our complete system as far as residential goes. We do have straight through filter boxes. We have right angle filter boxes, and we also do have support boxes. Our support boxes are a very popular product because they are pretty unique. I know some sheet metal shops do make these on their own. Our straight throughs and right angles are very popular too, but those are pretty common throughout the industry, but support boxes aren't so much. But with all of our boxes, you can get those insulated, and our filters do come in there as well. We do have 11 or 13 filters. We can also paint these to the color of the system too. So whatever color your furnace or air handler or whatever is painted, we can paint these to that color, and we can also silk screen print the contractor's name on these as well. So kind of a couple cool little things that Ultravation can do. We'll go ahead and jump to the next. All right, so we're going to get a little bit more into the commercial solutions. We're going to look at the SI, the AS, the 4X, and the upper room applications. So go ahead and jump to the next slide. We'll get into each of these individually. So again, we're always looking at what you're trying to solve for. This is even more important for commercial, I'd say. This is typically when people are really trying to solve for specific things, is in commercial settings. So we really have to focus on what we're trying to solve for. And a lot of the times when you're trying to solve for specific things inside a commercial setting, it isn't typically like, I'm just going to buy a matrix and be done. You typically need a certain amount of UV lights in a system to be effective. So you will need a certain amount of UV lights in the ductwork or over the coils to achieve what you're trying to solve for. So go ahead and jump to the next. So this is the UV Matrix SI. And something else that I didn't mention when speaking about commercial, we do have a form for the contractors to fill out when they're in a commercial setting. It's basically a little questionnaire that we're going to ask to get some of the measurements, and also we're going to ask what you're trying to solve for on that. The contractor will fill that out, they'll send it back to us, and that'll enable us to be able to recommend a product for the contractor. So we can recommend the product that they'll need and how many of those they'll need for their job, and then we can work through you guys to get the contractor pricing for that. So the UV Matrix SI, benefits of coil irradiation, biogrowth prevention, allergy relief, efficiency optimization, elimination of coil cleaning as a result of biocontamination, airstream disinfection. So the UV Matrix SI is going to be very good for coil treatment and airstream disinfection. Go ahead and jump to the next. So the UV Matrix 4X, this is going to be our rooftop unit. It does have the NEMA 4X rated enclosure for outdoor purposes, ideal for rooftop package systems, limited space requirements. It does do the biogrowth prevention, allergy relief, elimination of coil cleaning as a result of biocontamination, and airstream disinfection. Go ahead and jump to the next. UV Matrix AS. So this is going to be more of our airstream disinfection here. So this is what you're going to put in duct, and this is going to basically do all the same type of technology that we just spoke about: improvement of indoor air quality throughout the reduction of airborne pathogens, allergy relief, odor reduction due to biocontamination, and it is available with PCO photocatalyst. So this is going to be what you put in the duct. The UV matrix is going to more or less be what you're going to put over the coils. Go ahead and jump to the next. All right, so FS, this has been one of the more popular products lately. So this is our upper room application product, and this is also something that you would fill out the question sheet that we'll send you as well. So typically this isn't something that is a one and done application. You wouldn't go into a room and just throw one of these in. Typically, you need more than one of these in each room that you're doing, depending on size. So a lot of this has to do with how big a room is. You do have to really pay attention to the size of a room and also the height of a room to be safe. So there is a 7-foot minimum installation height requirement, and it must be observed to assure the safety of the occupants. And just go over quick definition of it real quick. So as the air naturally circulates in the room, all the air will be exposed to UV light. Yet this design makes it possible for the room to be occupied during the disinfection process. So this is the coolest thing, the most important thing about this, which is the ideal time to reduce the risk of spreading infection, as well as allowing continual air disinfection. So this is always working, and it's always happening while people are in the room. But that's primarily the reason for the 7-foot minimum installation height requirement. So you don't want this to be eye level with people that are in the room. So it does come with 2 UV lamps, and it does have a rugged heavyweight steel construction, powder coat finish, stainless steel cabinet is available for it as well. And these things aren't all that big. It does have 2 12-inch vertically oriented UV lamps for optimization dispersion in the area of focus. So these aren't all that big, but as far as how many you put in a room really determines how big the room is, and we can definitely recommend what you guys would need for that.
A quick note on that is the average square footage is estimated to be 200 to 225 square feet per box, so per unit.
So this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of how this is working, what it's doing, how air naturally circulates through a room. It's always going to pass through the upper room of any type of building. The air is naturally going to circulate through it, and it's always going to pass through here. It's going to have a kind of a top-down approach, if you will. And that'll, yep. So go ahead and jump to the next. This is kind of some charts I can send you guys to. That's kind of going to look at center unit upper air irradiance from a top view of what this is going to look like in the distance from the lamp, and how the intensity of the UV, like the intensity which is happening from the UV from a top-down approach. So the left chart here, if you're looking straight down at it, that's the intensity coming off of it. And obviously, the further away you get from a UV, the less intensity is happening. Go ahead and jump to the next. All right, and we did put our line card on here just so you guys know other stuff that we do sell. In case you were interested, we do have 521 compressor savers and surge protection. We do have air technologies, fire dampers, CRDs, access doors, louvers, PDM line sets, Red Devil, caulk silicones, and duct sealant, Thermoflex. For our flex duct, Ultravation, which we just spoke about, Vimco for our vibration isolation. And we have one more line card on here. I don't know if you have it on here or not, Scott.
We're waiting for the updated revision since we've launched H2O Coil.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So this is Synergy. As you guys know, I am Synergy, but that is basically SMS and ARIA group combined form Synergy, and that's what I am here. Now I'll send you guys my line card when this is all over. So we're going to jump into the Q&A portion of things. Scott and I will be answering questions. He's going to unmute everybody, so he's going to stop recording, so feel free to ask any